I was going to chop the top and so you could zoom in on it. But this is a paper. This is a scientific paper, right? This is I downloaded this PDF of this from the University of Texas.edu. Everybody hear that? The University of Texas.edu. This is a paper. Now it's called Aether. This is a 1976 paper. So here we come through, Albert Einstein, 1920s and 30s, and we come up to received May 20th, 1975. Ether as a superfluid state of particle and antiparticle pairs. And basically the point of this paper here is to show a new model for the ether is suggested, according to which it is a superfluid. Everybody see that? Well, what the heck? Oh, let me back up. What the heck is a superfluid? All right. Is a superfluid state of fermion and antifermion pairs, describable by a macroscopic wave function. The vacuum state of this superfluid pervades the entire universe and may account for the missing matter. Oh, there's this superfluid that fills the whole universe that could account for the missing matter and what's causing stuff to move. Now these are scientists. Say, why didn't I hear about this in school? But they go on to say that, again, this is a model of the ether, so this is a scientific paper about the ether being a superfluid, and that this superfluid pervades the entire universe and may account for the missing matter. The visible matter in the universe appears as excitations from the underlying superfluid vacuum. So basically, it is behind all matter, this superfluid, this force, this field, right? And they call it the ether, and they say this ether is a superfluid. And he says the concept of the luminiferous ether as a medium sustaining electromagnetic waves was discarded after the advent of the special theory of relativity. The ether as conceived in classical physics does indeed lead to several contradictions. Let me tell you, the only contradictions that it leads to is the fact that it proved that the earth wasn't moving. And they try everything they can to figure out how to make the earth move and instead of just accepting the actual results of experiments. But at the same time, now I want to show you this. All right, we're going to look at some videos here, and there's no sound on these, so don't worry about the sound. Just leave my mic on because I may talk through some of these. Now, I think this first video is the moon seen through a 8-inch telescope. Okay, so pretty strong. Now, if you watch closely, you're going to see that the moon looks like it's underwater. Okay? Now, what they try to tell us is that you're looking at the moon that's 240,000 miles away, which again is impossible because let's just take, for instance, the Tycho crater. The Tycho crater was supposed to be about, allegedly, we're told, it's 80 miles across, and you can see it with the naked eye. Okay? Let me just go on and tell you, if you take Google Earth and find an island, like let's say you can find Haiti or a small island, say that's 80 miles across or whatever, you find an island and you zoom out as far as Google Earth will let you zoom out, which is about 39,000 miles, I think. You can zoom out and you can't see Haiti anymore. Okay? And they want to tell us that we can look up at the moon and see the different contours in the moon and different, and I don't even think they're craters, but alleged craters and Tycho crater. We can see those with the naked eye, and they're going to tell us that's 240,000 miles away from the Earth. No, it's not. Now, recently, it gets funny because recently they just said that that the moon's in our atmosphere. Whoop, time out. flat earthers got to them? How in the, well, no, Earth's atmosphere stretches out now. We figured out 240. No, it does not, you psychos. They'll just say anything almost anymore. No. The moon, the sun and the moon are inside the firmament. They're inside. They're in our atmosphere. Okay? A little higher than where we can breathe air. But they're up there. And look, I zoomed in the other night. Let me tell you this story real quick before I show you these. And somebody will think that this is crazy, but I don't care because I believe God still speaks to us today. Amen? So in 2016, 2015 is when all this revelation began to come out, and many people's eyes were opened to what's really going on with the Bible, with creation, the shape of the earth, everything, right? So I remember one of our brothers that went to this church got a Nikon P900, and we went out, and this was like May of 2016, and we got some very zoomed in, up close, I think it was May 21st, it was full moon, clear skies, and we caught the waves going across the moon. And so at that time, we're all still trying to figure out, so like there's waters above the firmament, not, the waters below the firmaments, the oceans and stuff. Why does it look like the moon's in the water? And I'm sitting there asking, Lord, why does it look like the moon's in the water when I know the waters are above the firmament? What is that? What am I seeing? This doesn't make sense because I know the moon is very close and inside of our atmosphere and much smaller than they've told us. And I think it's electric plasma, but we'll talk about that more next time. But you're seeing this stuff, and I was sitting at my dinner table and I was asking the Lord, it's like, what is that? Because it's not the waters above the firmament, but it looks like water. And the Lord, I'm telling you, the Lord spoke to me. He said it's the ether. And that's even before I knew about this whole superfluid. Superfluidity, superfluid is a different, they even call it, the physicists now, they call it a new form of matter, okay? Because they figured out how to basically kind of recreate it in the laboratory, all right? So let's look at this. I want you to see it for yourself. I'll show you several videos from different people, and then I'll show you my own that I took just the other night. And you can see that it looks like the moon is underwater. So let's look at this one. Everybody see that? Or is it just me? See the wave? In the ether? It's fluid. It's a different kind of fluid. I believe this is the dense, condensed ether from concentrate. Did you see that? Now, does that not look like you're looking down in it? It's like in the bottom of a glass of water. But yet, we know that it's not exactly water. All right? But it is a fluid. Now let's look at the next one. This is from Crow 777. He came out with this, I think, in like 2012. So this is long before even the whole flat earth thing got big and popular. And he caught this, and he's like, what is that? Now, he didn't know what it was. He still wondered. He still thinks, I think he still thinks that the moon's a hologram. But he caught this, and you can see the wave going up in front of the moon. He calls it a hologram wave. And he does say in this video later on, he said, I'm calling it that for lack of a better term. I don't know what to call it. But see, he shows you in a negative. It's very clear that there is some kind of fluid that the moon is moving through. Okay? Here he takes it a different color to show you. And we caught this in 2016 as well. I could not find those videos for some reason. But I just ran out of time. But I will find them. Show you one more time. And then see, he moved the camera forward and the wave finally caught up to the camera. So it wasn't the camera making an effect. But there it is again. And so those videos, like in 2012, like the lunar wave, it was freaking people out. Like, what in the world? See, here's the thing. Are we gonna believe even what we observe? If we can't observe this phenomenon and go, okay, what is this? It's something. Don't know what it is. Need to figure out what it is. Here's mine from the other night. This was just, I think this was like the day before the full moon. Because the full moon night, it was cloudy and couldn't get any. But this was the day before the full moon just last week. And you can see. This is in my front yard with my P900. You can see the water, the fluid. And I had actually walked away from the camera at this point because I was talking to Nancy about something. She was on the front porch. So this is not me moving the camera, touching the camera, nothing. So that wiggling you see, everybody see that? Looks like it's underwater. Again, multiple signs. And of course, this is light coming out of these little holes here. Weird, man. Light rays. There's multiple places. It's got nothing to do. It's trying to tell us meteorites hit the moon. Well, how'd they hit it if this side's always facing us? Oh, it happened 14 billion years ago. Yeah, right. Shut up. You probably did come from a monkey if you're saying that stuff. Shut up. All right. Now, here's someone with a telescope that caught Jupiter. Now, we're going to talk about Jupiter. I don't believe Jupiter is a planet in the sense of terrestrial planet. I believe it's a wandering star, like the book of Jude says, like the ancients all say. But you're going to catch this. Somebody's got a pretty strong telescope on Jupiter, and you're going to see an ether wave move across Jupiter here. Let me watch this. And it looks like it's... And look at it. Jiggling like underwater. It's jiggy. That's water. It's fluid. Look, there it is. Now, let's look at this. Now, see, what brought all this up, too, was I remember back in 2015, this video about the Go Fast rocket, people said, it hit the dome. Everybody was like, oh, the rocket hits the dome. Oh, the rocket hits the dome. And I thought, well, it hit something and stopped.
I'm going to link the video down below if you guys want to watch the whole thing. And I was wondering if actually what came to my mind when I was looking at the moon in the fluid is bioluminescence. I don't know why that came to my mind, but I'm going to look that up. All right, everyone, be blessed. Take care.